welcome to Sarasota. It's the USA Ultimate Club National Championships. We're in day 4. We're in the final game championship of the women's division here. We've got Riot out of Seattle and Fury out of San Francisco facing off. Today I'm sitting here with Lou Burris and Mario O'Brien. We're going to be giving you all the action here from a blustery day in Sarasota. We've got a 15 to 20 mile per hour crosswind going on out here. And yeah, we're looking forward to a great game between these two teams. Lou, can you tell us a little bit more about kind of the history of these two teams and what we need to know about them?
Okay. Fury out of San Francisco is one of the great storied traditions in women's ultimate. They today are contending for their 8th title. They already have 7 in the books. This will be their 7th in a row. Their previous title came in 2002. And that would put them 1 title short of Lady Godiva's all-time record of 9 titles. On the other side, Riot out of Seattle has been one of the leading women's teams, previously known as Women on the Verge in the late 90s. They've fallen a little bit in terms of bad luck in the last 5 or 6 years, mostly at the hands of Fury.
That's right, this is their first finals appearance.
This is their first finals appearance since the fatal collapse. They're up, I believe, 11-1. Ended up losing that game.
Is that the official title, the fatal collapse of that game? I think
you
you might have just coined it.
Moving beyond the history of these two teams, found out a lot of really interesting stuff strategically going on behind the scenes as the great coach for Fury, Matty Zhang, as he game plans and actually surprisingly really excellent preparation on Riot's part to game plan to deal with Matty. Before we get to that though, I want to back up half a step, just talk about the general nature of the general makeup of these two teams. With Riot, you're looking at a team built on speed. They're not super tall, but they're very fast, they're very quick. This past year, they've really worked on implementing the high tempo offense. They're going to look to hit the first open receiver, run lots of give and goes. They're going to look when they get a comeback cut to hit that little shovel pass, get that defender going, get those defenders trailing, power position to free up a deep shot down the field. On the other side of the ball, you got Fury. That's a team that's about size, big, strong lane cutters. Just as I was watching their warm-ups, a real difference in technique. Fury is working on running 20-yard out and undercuts. Riot is playing 3 in the box where they're working for consecutive completions, playing on 3-on-3 defense in this little tiny space. Strategically, though, when we talk to Matty, it's just always great to talk to Matty Zhang as one of the greatest coaches in Ultimate. They're bringing out a special zone that they've never run before just for this game, really attempting to force Riot into uncomfortable situations. We walk across the field to talk to Riot.
Yeah.
Riot says to us, after we struggled with Fury Zone at regionals, the Riot players brought in Sockeye guys to play a variety of unpredictable junk, not so that they would know how to beat that junk, so they could practice beating unpredictable junk.
All right, and we're off to the races. We got Alex Snyder with the opening pole, Fury on D in blue. We've got Riot in red. That's Claire Suver possessing the disc, centering to Shannon O'Malley. And Fury coming down in a bit of a zone right away. It's a 3-man cup. That's Lakshmi Dariani, one of the captains of Fury, on the mark. And a turnover by Riot, and Fury will pick it up and get a quick start going. Nariani with the disc, centers it back to Snyder, who finds a break to Liz Penny. And there's a call, foul on the throw. That's Shannon O'Malley marking Liz Penny in the middle of the field.
Lou, I agree with you. I think it just shows how familiar these two teams are with each other. That one team made a game plan and the other team knew the game plan of the other team. I mean, it shows how many times these teams see each other, not only this season, but throughout the past 10 years in big game situations.
Yeah, this is their 6th meeting this year. Riot leads the series 3-2.
This is their second meeting this tournament as well, correct?
Yes. Riot winning in pool play.
There was a defensive foul call that was overruled by the observer. Disc will stay with Nariani. Drew Johnson on the mark. Fury moving the disc well. It's Emily Damon up to Penny. Oh, and picked off by Hannah Kawai in the end zone. Riot back with the disc, getting the disc moving quickly. And Penny gets a hand on it, but Drew Johnson able to come up with the catch.
Drew Johnson's been making athletic plays all weekend.
It appears in this.
Brilliant catch by Drew Johnson.
You know, it's interesting talking to Maddie before the game, coach of Fury. He said they've actually got a couple defenses that are specifically designed to keep the disc in the hands of players who they think are more susceptible to either errant throws or errant decisions. And I think he said Shannon O'Malley wasn't one of those? No.
That came up in another part of our discussion. And we did ask him who those players were, but he wasn't actually willing to tell us who they were.
And Fury is on the board. That's Liz Penny to Lakshmi Narayan for the score. Fury going up 1-0 to start this game.
So right away, I think we're seeing from Fury that first point is the point they want. They come out, they play their junk. Riot's a little bit uncomfortable. They make a couple execution errors. Fury's able to begin the game off with, it's not a full upwinder, but definitely it's been easier to score in the end zone near the booth.
And remember, Fury pulled that one, so they're actually breaking to start this game.
You know, interesting in this history of games between Riot and Fury this season, each of those games has begun with a 4 or 5 point run and then traded out the rest of the way with the team scoring early and taking that early lead, winning. Matty Zhang specifically said the first 4 or 5 points of this game are going to set the tempo, the pace, and the narrative for the entire game.
Well, an exciting start, and Cree Howard with the pull for Fury. Riot picking up the disc, centering to Shannon O'Malley. And Fury in a similar zone, coming down, it's actually a 4-person. They're switching out of 3-man. And Riot again with the turn. Fury picking it up quickly. Liz Penny taking a deep shot. But with the wind, that'll sail out of bounds. Shannon O'Malley getting a hand on it.
There's a foul call by Liz Penny. That forehand that Liz Penny's going to throw here down the line, this is one of the toughest throws in Sarasota. The wind is blowing right to left across your screen, about 20, gusting up to maybe even as high as 25 miles an hour. And it's so difficult to keep that disc inbounds, and you saw it tail out away, giving Shannon O'Malley the easy D.
So there was a foul. Fury will maintain possession, moving the disc quickly now. Emily Damon finding Alicia Dansker, who has to lay out near the end zone. And Casey having to make a bid, but not able to come down with it as Kate Henry puts up a deep shot right away to Hannah Kalai. But Dansker able to get a hand on it, get the D back for Fury.
I like that look from KK. Hannah Kawhi is their #1 target, and to have her running free down the field, that's a shot that Riot's going to want to take.
So Fury gets the disc moving, but a quick turnover gives the disc back to Riot. Working it now down the middle of the field. Little quick give and goes. Back to O'Malley. And Fury's still in their zone, even though Riot's near the end zone. Riot working the disc on this sideline. Fury trapping that downwind side. Riot struggling to move the disc. Kate Kingery puts something up over the top. Hannah Clyer to come down with it. And Riot able to swing it out to space for the upwinder.
There's Hannah Kawhi going up over U.S. World champion Cree Howard, making a play right short of the goal line. A couple little swings later, Riot is going to answer back and score a really important upwinder, tie that game at ones.
So that time, Fury coming down in a little different look. We're already seeing multiple zones from them. It's been 2 points. They came down first in a 3-man, then in a 4-man, looking to trap on that downwind side.
And going back to what we said at the top of the broadcast, you know, Riot is known for their speed. So far, Fury's come out there throwing zone, not allowing Riot to use their strength.
Yeah, we watched that as Riot struggled to work out of that 4-person trap over in the front corner of the end zone, holding the disc to 6 or 7 in the stall count, forced to throw little tiny resets. Finally, high in the count, Kate Kingery's got to throw a big inside out through the cup. Hannah Kwai makes a great play. Fury's got to be happy, though, to get that to force KK into making that throw.
So Riot's D-line gets out there. That's number 66, Val Dion with the pull. Lands deep in that downwind end zone. Center to Nancy Sun. And Riot appears to be in a transitioned junk. Sun puts up a big throw to Boscher, who lays out but is out of reach. Riot will pick up and immediately get the disc moving. Foul finds Surge, Sarah Surge Griffith, who hits a nice little backhand. Have to lay out there by number 34, Loriana Berman, who finds Khalees Cardenas for a Riot score. And that's a break for Riot, getting back the break that they dropped to Fury in the first point.
The speed of Riot is truly impressive. Watch Khalees Cardenas. She's just going to sprint to the open side. No chance for the defender to catch up. Easy goal for Riot.
So Lou, we're looking at two teams, that are obviously at the top of the elite women's game. Can you tell us about some of the players, that we really want to keep an eye out for, to make the big plays for these teams?
Yeah. On the near side, looking at Riot, 3 players that really their performance is going to hinge how Riot does in this game. On the far left of the line, big poofy hair, you're going to see Gwen Ambler. Multiple national championships for Stanford University when she was in college. After college, she played for Fury, won titles with Fury. Now she's one of the captains of Riot. She's going to do it all for them. She's going to defend with her length. She's going to use that particularly to go to her big backhand. On the far right, pulling this, you have Shannon O'Malley out of the University of Washington. Longtime Riot player, played for Riot when she was 17. And she's going to rely on her speed and quickness and athleticism more than her technical skill as a thrower. But she's one of their main handlers.
So Riot coming down in a junky-looking D. This might be one of the D-looks that we talked about they'd worked on. Fury moving the disc well, though, finding open space. And Boscher hits an inside-out backhand that hangs up in the end zone. And there's Gwen Ambler, like Lou just talked about, coming up big on Riot's D. She's fouled on the throw there.
Veteran play, great position the entire time, goes up before either of the Fury players are able to make a play, and catches her D.
And a drop there by Riot, but Loriana Berman comes up with the layout D to keep them in possession, working the disc down that downwind sideline now. Val Dion putting up a big backhand. Doesn't look like it's going to come back in, but there's a foul on the throw.
Now, Loriana Berman has come out and made 2 layout grabs, and that is truly impressive. I'm getting some notes from Tyler Kinley up in the booth here. He said she's coming back. She's come back successfully from an ACL tear in '08. It's really great to see players not only come back from an injury, but get back to that level where they're still making incredible plays on the field.
So the foul was overruled. Fury will take over the disc. And a low throw, Boscher having to lay out, can't complete it. Riot will take back over. And they're about 15 yards outside their end zone on the downwind side. And Kayla Jurgensen with a huge hand block on Shannon O'Malley gives the disc right back to Fury. Disc will stop, or play will stop. There's a foul on the throw.
There's Kayla Jorgensen with the hand block. And yeah, this little foul call that we just saw here, really more of a, I don't like what I have, I want to get a free reset, start things over, than any real intention of throwing that backhand inside out.
Fury doing well to move the disc to the upwind sideline. And Boscher shoots an IO right into the ground, intended for Nancy Sun.
That's an unfortunate hat trick for Georgia Boscher. She missed early in this point on the huck, the throwaway there, and sandwiched in between those two was that drop in the middle of the field.
Yeah, kind of uncharacteristic play for Boscher, who, you know, Fury is hoping to see out playing a lot of points in this game. And I understand that she actually wasn't here for Thursday or Friday play.
She wasn't in, and she's Fury platoons their cutting squad, and Georgia Boscher is the one player who platoons in with both squads.
And Riot, kind of a miscue intended for Ambler, but Shannon O'Malley being heads up, keeping the disc alive. And Val Dion unmarked right now outside the end zone. Puts up a bending forehand, just going to catch the wind, so clear over the head of her defender. So
I think a lot of what we're seeing right here is the wind having a big, big impact on this game. A lot of these throwaways we're seeing on the left side of the screen, the wind's pushing it down. Here you see the wind getting under the Frisbee, lifting it up over the intended receiver. I think on a still day, that's an easy goal.
So Alex Snyder walking the disc up, breaking around to Fury. And Riot now in man D as they're picking up against Fury's Hostak.
Nice switch by Riot.
Boscher finds Nancy Sun, who just can't get 2 hands on the disc. And it's another Fury turnover. Shannon O'Malley picks up for Riot, centers it to Val Dion. Who swings it around. And that was Kayla Jurgensen getting a piece of it, but it looks like she got a little bit of the thrower there as well. That's number 13, Heidi Marie Clemens with the disc. Disc will come back.
You know, it's interesting on that turnover. We talked to Maddie Sang, coach for Fury, before the game. Talked about what Riot does well on defense. He said they'd like to flash in the lanes a lot. And that's actually how they got that D. That was Hannah Creelkamp with the Riot D. We're going to take a look at another Boscher D. Wow. Incredibly athletic play by Boscher. She actually wasn't here the first 2 days of the tournament. Still able to come out, fitting right in on for Fury, making big plays.
So Boscher got that D, but then a couple plays later drops it. So Ambler now in possession for Riot, moving the disc up to Dion, who also drops it. Lou, we're seeing more turnovers this point than I think I've seen out of these, you know, two teams in a long time. Is it just the wind?
I think in this point it's a little bit of fatigue as well. That at this point we're now looking at 5 turnovers a team. That's going to make Georgia Boscher's 5th turnover of the point. Want to see the Fury receiver make that play. She's got to read that disc coming out of the shadow of a diving Gwen Ambler. I'm going to put that one on Georgia Boscher as well.
And a smart call here by Ambler to take a timeout after a really long point here for both teams. as both teams struggle, offense looks good. The flow seems to be moving well. It's just a lot of kind of catches and throws.
Yeah, and talking with Matty Zhang at regionals, one of the concerns he cited about their team was there were times when they struggled offensively, when they were really reliant on Georgia to just make big throws, and that worries him. And you're seeing exactly why, is that if she's not on and still trying to make those big throws, that can get them in trouble in a hurry. Just to review some of the other important players here, we've talked a little bit about Hannah Kawhi. Seattle Juniors player returning home, playing for a hometown team. She's going to do it all for them. She's going to play D. She's going to be a big receiver. We saw her already make that big catch over Cree Howard to help Riot get that important upwinder. Moving over to the Fury side of the disc, I don't think any conversation about greatest players in the game on the women's side is going to be complete without talking about Alex Snyder. We watched her play earlier this weekend in the semifinals against the Capitals, and her hucks were unbelievable. She was putting discs 50, 60 yards out, right up there on the shelf for the receiver to just go and pluck down.
Lou, I think at this tournament, bar none, Alex Snyder, the most fundamentally sound player at this tournament, man or woman.
So Riot starts with the disc. There's a hand block, but it's caught by another Riot player, able to keep possession. The pick further on the play. Val Dion now has the disc being marked by Boscher. And Riot moving the disc laterally, but a little bit too much rushing there causes another turnover. Alex Snyder now in possession for Fury. And that's Manisha Dariani gets a little bit of a D and able to follow for the second attempt and get the layout. Puts one up in the end zone, but Gwen Ambler coming up big for Riot on the other end, getting that D back. So the point continues.
Hey, something weird is happening with the monitor up here, where it's like blacking out when you guys run a replay. So you'll like the replay
Right on their end zone, swinging the disc around. There's a pick up field.
We see like some of them, and we see the front end of them, and then the screen just disappears.
So Riot right now struggling a little bit to find some space upfield. And a little backhand that floats up for Ambler is Deed.
Jen LaRoche on the
10,
D.
Genevieve LaRoche. That's Kayla Jurgensen picking up for Fury, trying to find LaRoche in the end zone, but fouled on the throw. And LaRoche making a quick little step around Ambler there to get that goal in for Fury.
Yeah, really unforgivably poor fundamental defense from Gwen Ambler there. Just giving up the cone. I think what we're seeing there is the fatigue of a 7 turnover aside point. And there's LaRoche's D. And then we're going to see her beat Ambler to the that's the miscue with Kayla Jorgensen, Santa Barbara star. Earlier in the tournament, when Riot or Fury played a huge multiple turnover point, that was really to their advantage because they could put out a fresh 7, whereas a lot of the teams they were competing against were not able to put out a fresh 7. Here, it's a push. Both Fury and Riot are able to put out a brand new 7 without a loss in talent.
And that is pretty incredible. It speaks, to the depth of talent and strength, in both these two teams to have that luxury.
A little bit worrisome for Fury that they struggled so mightily to score downwind with Georgia Boscher, Alex Snyder, and Nancy Sun all on the field.
So Fury putting out their D-line. Riot centering, that's Drew Johnson, trying to get that quick little dish off. She's fouled on the throw by Casey. Drew Johnson finds a nice little IO to give Sewer some separation. Riot moving the disc well. Ginny Ewan puts up a big one. And Liz Penny just goes up a little bit too early, and that's Hannah Kawhi coming down with it for a Riot score.
Yep. You see Ginny catch it. She's only got Liz Penny to beat, her 2000 Carleton teammate. She pops it right over the top of that. Liz Penny's a great deep defender. Finds Hannah Kawhi then alone with about 5 steps of separation. 3-2 Riot.
You know, talk about those fundamentals. I mean, I actually think that Liz made a bit of a mistake there on that deep D. You know, a lot of times when that disc goes up and you know you're going to make a play on it, if you know you're going to make a play on it, there's no reason to not just get a little closer to the offensive player and take away that separation. Worst case scenario, you go up and you're gonna whiff on that disc and she's gonna make an easy clap catch goal. Best case scenario, you close that gap. Maybe you go up and the offensive player goes up with you, and she misses the disc. You know, she took a gamble. Looks like she had a good read. I think the wind definitely popped it up and she wasn't able to get it. But you know, we'll see.
Liz Penny is in that select group of Fury players. She's been a Fury stalwart for years. Incredible defender, and I think the biggest asset she brings to Fury is she provides a spark for them when they need something. When they were in the finals at Worlds playing Uno, and Uno is really in control of that game, Liz Penny, with her defensive intensity on the mark, completely took over 2 points in a row, and those were the pivotal 2 points and then winning that title.
So disc centered here for Fury as the Riot pull went out of bounds. And that Captain Lakshmi Narayan having some trouble getting it off the sideline is forced to put up a huck to no one, really, and Sarah Griffith coming down with it. Gets a quick little reset to Alyssa Weatherford. Finds Nora Carr. Griffith now with the disc on the downwind sideline. Looking for Hannah Kawhi, but just out of her hands. And Narayan will pick up the disc for Fury. And, you know, normally Fury looking to just give and go right away, but just not finding an option. Riot doing a really good job to pick up and cover tightly. Fury being forced back. Casey in the middle of the field. So Riot in man, but poaching off the back on the weak side, and Fury kind of struggling to hit those cutters, but still moving the disc down, and Nesfayardo puts one out into space.
Great throw.
That is Dara Clancy, number 42, getting on the board for Fury.
Yeah.
So a little bit of struggle at the beginning, but make some adjustments.
That whole sequence was set up by the inside out to Liz Penny. That generated the space for them to run that sequence down the forehand sideline. Lovely touch throw to end the play.
You know, looking at the Riot personnel choices so far, I've noticed Sarah Griffith, Hannah Kawhi, Loriana Berman, all getting a lot of playing time early in these first 5 points. I wonder if that could take an effect here if we do have, you know, a game that the wind is playing a factor. I wonder if they're going to be able to hold out. I wonder if their conditioning is going to allow them to stay in the game for that long.
A lot of speed in those three players.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a lot of part of why we're seeing Fury struggle so much to score, is struggling to generate separation downfield. Just another interesting note about Fury's offense is they only carry 6 handlers on this roster. For the size of their team, it's not very many. And one of the ways that they manage that is that they'll only play 2 handlers at a time and employ an offense with a third position they call the hatchet position, who's sort of a bailout cutter coming down to fill high in the count. You know, so as you look at this lineup that they have in right now, you see Emily Damon out of Stanford, Alex Snyder. Those are going to be the 2 main handlers. The remaining 5 players on that line are all cutters. So you'll see Alex and Emily really work to control the disc. And if they get in trouble, one of those cutters will be coming back in to fill to bail them out. You know, with Liz Penny in here, I'd really be expecting them to see them play some kind of junk D that gets Liz up on the mark, allows her with her size and physical aggression to try to generate some kind of a turnover.
So we're all tied up here early in the game. It's 3-3. Fury pulls to Riot. And I think you're right, Lou. Definitely looked like something happening. Liz Penny on that mark. Immediately, you see that physical aggression as she fouls Drew Johnson.
Looks almost a little bit like a box and one. You can see the shape of the cup. But the D on Drew Johnson there was almost like a man-to-man D.
And that's something that Maddie mentioned, you know, as one of the new looks that they had brought in, you know, kind of explicitly for this game.
You can see she is playing man-to-man on Drew Johnson.
So Riot now kind of trapped on that upwind sideline. Alyssa Weatherford tries to go over the top, but Cree Howard, getting big in the air, comes down with the D for Fury. But Elise Cardenas, just a speedy defender, is able to beat Alex Snyder, keeps running, and comes up with that quick turn goal.
It's all going to go back.
It's all going to go back.
It looks like there's a foul on that throw, on that blocked swing pass called by Cree Howard.
So we're going to see Cardenas just comes in, uses her speed, and gets that D there. But as we said, there was a foul before that even happened. So the disc will come back to Cree Howard. Fury maintains possession. And Liz Penny puts a nice high backhand over the top. Fury scoring upwind there. That's Emily Damon finding Alicia Barr in the end zone.
Yep. I see a little bit of a worrisome sign for Riot there is Shannon O'Malley, very volatile player emotionally, expressing a lot of frustration after that goal and her teammates having to come over and take care of her. You know, I would hope a player as veteran as Shannon on this stage would be taking care of her teammates and not needing them to take care of her.
So what looked to be a big, you know, defensive play there by Riot is going to, you know, actually come back and result in a Fury score upwind.
You know, while we're talking about aspects of the middle game, one thing that Riot did is they brought in a sports psychologist to help them become a mentally tougher team. And as a coach myself, I think it's a really interesting idea. It's always, I think, a little bit dangerous to think too much about the mental game, because when you're playing Ultimate, you don't want to be thinking. As soon as you start thinking, you just fall into this wormhole that you can't get out of. So in some ways, going to a sports psychologist to help you out is having somebody help you think about not thinking at all.
And do you think that's something that they decided to do because of their, you know, their youngness? They have a lot of new rookies. They're kind of a different team than they were last year.
I really think a lot of it has to do with them feeling like they have the talent of Fury, and then as they assess, they say, okay, where's our weakness? What's separating us from them? They can't replace Maddie Zhang, but they can work on being mentally tougher.
Well, starting strongly here. Well, they had some good disc movement, but that's Berman on the drop. And not in a good position for them. Nancy Sun running to the disc. Fury just about 20 yards outside the end zone. Alex Snyder finds Bosher on a nice inside out. There's a pick further downfield.
Not much for Bosher to look at here.
Not a lot of cutters downfield. Fury actually keeping a lot of players in the backfield. Got about 2 cutters they're isolating. Bosher still looking for the disc. Puts one forward for Nancy Sun, able to get ahead of her defender there. Alyssa Weatherford now on the end zone. Still isolating Bosher. And puts up a scoober. Not really a high stall count. Not sure what she was thinking there. It's D'd by Riot, and Alyssa Weatherford picks over the disc.
Interesting end zone O from Fury, bringing 3 cutters to the back of the end zone and isolating Bosher in the front, and Nancy Sun just forced it in there.
So Riot maintaining possession up that downwind sideline. Dion finding Kingery. Back to Berman.
If they score, give me Dion.
Who tries to go around the mark, but Alex Snyder, not an easy one to go around. And looks like she gets some contact on the throw. Disc pops up, and a foul is called.
Never mind, it's narratively too late.
Berman with the low backhand. That's D'd by Chrissy Bowen, but another foul on the throw.
You know, Berman there making almost the same mistake that we saw Nancy Sun make down here in this end zone, which is looking for that isolated cutter and just forcing something that's not there. Surprising to see that from two really experienced players. Much rather see them take a look, stalling 2 or 3, move that disc across the field, and then take another look.
You know, both those instances happen on this downwind sideline. You know, how much is that wind really playing into kind of the players, you know, not feeling comfortable breaking that mark around?
It's great insight because that around pass upwind, I think as you can see these flags bending over, I think throwers are very uncomfortable with that.
So another pick called. Alyssa Weatherford now at the disc being marked by Nancy Sun. Right in end zone, Alyssa gives and goes upfield. Gets hit by Berman. And with a low forehand, looks like the catch was made, but disc must have been down. Dion not able to connect. And Fury will take over. Nancy Sun walking to the disc at their own end zone.
See clearly in that replay, Dion goes down to collect it, and it just squirts out and comes off the ground before she can pull it in.
So Fury trying to work that disc around. It goes off the hands of Manisha Dariani. Picked back up by Riot, who just forces another throw upfield. And now it's Lauren Casey with the disc to Bosher for Fury. And again, on that swing, you know, just right up into the wind, it goes right to the Riot defender. Now in a good position, Claire Suver outside the end zone. Puts up an inside backhand break, and that's Val Dion coming down with the goal. Assist by Suver.
Okay. We're going to see here on this replay, Val Dion. We're catching the goal. And I think what you're seeing with Val Dion, she's going to be a huge asset for Riot in this game. Just with her size, she's so big that even as these errant throws are popping up in the wind, she's able to collect that stuff up high. Same thing that we're seeing from Gwen Ambler.
So we've now seen, kind of on that last couple series of plays, a lot of turnovers going upwind on the swings, putting, right outside the end zone, making it easy for the other team, to just punch in a quick score. How much are we going to see kind of field possession or field position start to come into play in this game?
As I was looking down there watching Georgia Bosher hold that disc essentially unmarked at the front of the upwind end zone, I was surprised that with the power she has, that she did not take a shot downfield and instead chose to throw a risky swing pass that resulted in a short field turnover and an upwind goal for Riot.
So Fury now on offense. Riot coming down in a three-man kind of junk zone look. Emily Damon with the disc for Fury. Damon and Fajardo working together. Lefty Fajardo tries to swing one around the cup intended for Dansker.
Getting that outside in down the line, so difficult in these conditions.
So Drew Johnson will pick up for Riot. And Riot Cutter's not really giving a lot of deep looks right there. Drew Johnson able to find an inside break to get the disc back to the middle of the field. Hannah Kawhi now with the disc. Hits Griffith again. They're doing a good job to get over to this side. Oh, and a huge D there. That's Emily Damon, like you said, coming out big for Fury's D.
Kingery let up just a half a step, and that gave Damon the window to get in there for the block.
Christy Bowen with the disc, another rookie for Fury, also out of UC Santa Barbara. Gets a nice little upfield to Fajardo, who sails it looping around the back of the end zone. Has to lay out for it. Kayla Jurgensen making the big play for that score.
Jorgensen gets nasty on this one.
Yeah. And Kayla Jorgensen's been battling back injuries since sectionals and regionals, and really playing at about 60%, giving everything she's got there for the goal. I think right now we're going to be interviewing Bart Watson, our national champion with Revolver.
Bart, welcome up to the booth. We're talking with a 3-time world champion, a college champion, and now your 3rd national championship. Bart, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. There's nothing like winning here in Sarasota. I think it's the best feeling in the world.
Absolutely. So what makes this championship special?
Well, the repeat's always great. It validates a lot what you did the year before. And we brought in a lot of new guys who had never won before. We had a number of guys who had never made it past quarters before. And so winning, not just for the program, but for them, just makes it extra special.
Absolutely. And what was it exactly about this team? I mean, were there major changes from last year? Were you running the same systems, same personnel, or were there some things that you did differently that really helped you win this with the 2nd championship in a row?
Well, we definitely adjusted some stuff, especially after Northwest Regionals. I think people had started to catch on to a lot of what we were doing, especially on offense. And our coach, Dutchie, Alex Kaskier, did a great job of making some adjustments and leading us to a new game plan that I think worked great here.
So Riot on offense, Fury pulling the disc down. And on a swing to the center, that's Captain Lakshmi. That's kind of a battle of the captains there. Lakshmi Narayan gets the layout D on Gwen Ambler, who says the contact and calls the foul on the throw. A little bit of an argument.
You know, I couldn't really tell looking at the replay which happened first, whether we got to the disc first, whether we had some contact. Bart, what are you seeing on this one?
That's a bang play. It looked like there was a good bit on it, but there was definitely some contact.
And the observer stepping in to rule that is not a foul, so Fury will pick up about 15 yards outside the end zone. Little flip backhand by Fajardo to Sun. Looking for Nikki Bloom in the end zone, just off of her hand. So Claire Suver will go to pick up for Riot.
Yeah, a lot of throws and catches going, making mistakes. Both sides of the ball. I'm pretty surprised so far. These two teams, very fundamentally sound. Interesting that's been the problem so far here in the first half.
And Sewer gets it on that outside, steps out of bounds to hit a big shot to Carr, but calls a foul on the play.
So Bart, while we get a chance here, while we're waiting for this disc to come back, I think there's a lot of people out there that are wondering about what it is that makes Revolver so special, or what makes you successful. Can you point to any things that you really think make the difference for your team?
Well, I think one of the things is our team ethos. We have a kind of a spirit behind us, IHD, intensity, humility, and discipline that really drives us. And I think we've gotten people to buy into that's a little bit different than some other Ultimate teams, and has been very successful for us and very, very rewarding. And it's been great to see, especially this year, some of the new guys just completely buy into that. Other than that, it's just hard work, which a lot of Ultimate teams have. But I think our team is willing to put in the work, and that's helped us a lot this year.
I'm really interested in this IHD concept. I think it's really easy with concepts like that to say these things and then, not see how they actually manifest themselves on a team. It's one thing to say, guys, let's play hard defense, and then you go out and do it. Especially something that seems pretty maybe abstract to have these three concepts. How do those things manifest themselves throughout the season?
It's something that our captains and our coach are very aware of, and so are constantly reminding guys. At practices and workouts, it's something we're reminding ourselves. We ran after one of our toughest tournaments of the year, a humility ladder. Even though we had won, we decided we wanted to make sure we weren't getting cocky. And so I think there are things that we try to specifically build workouts and practices around in order to remind ourselves that these are fundamental concepts that if we lose sight of, we're not going to be as good of a team.
And is that common vocabulary in the team? If someone's going to watch a practice, are they going to hear IHD? Are they going to hear those three words?
You're going to hear IHD at every Revolver practice you go to. Definitely. I think every team member knows it and tries to hold themselves to it at all times.
So in that last point, Fury going up, a break. That was Derek Clancy to Alden Fletcher deep in the end zone. So that brings Fury up 6-4 over Riot.
So Bart, one last question for you. I think there's probably a lot of people out there wondering, to play at this level, it takes a certain amount of commitment, not just mentally, but also physically and time-wise. It really takes up a huge part of an elite player's life. What kind of time is everyone on Revolver putting in, in hours per week, whether it's practice, whether it's watching film, whether it's team meetings? How much time is everyone putting in per week on the track, in the gym, at practice?
My guess is somewhere between 50 to 20 hours per week, somewhere around a part-time job. We're doing 7-8 hours of practice, 3 to 4 hours of pod workouts, and most people are putting in extra time at the gym themselves. Obviously, there are individual players who are putting in more. Bo Kittredge, he's an amazing athlete, but what a lot of people don't know is he probably puts in more hours at the gym and at the track than just about anybody in Ultimate. I think the average player is probably putting in 15 to 20, but you see players who are putting in more like 25, 30 a week and making this almost like another job.
So Fury coming down on the pull in a 4-man cup, giving Riot some trouble. They turn it, and Fury takes back possession. Lauren Casey finding Alicia Barr there in the middle of the field. Back to Casey. Emily Damon now working nice low give and go with Alex Snyder.
Riot playing some suffocating defense right now.
Yeah, Fury handlers really struggling to find movement downfield, keep having to work the disc laterally. Damon little backhand flip inside to Casey, no mark. The Casey just can't find a receiver while Griffith's on the ground. Finds Liz Penny. Again, another bid there by Berman. Can't get it. There's no mark. Liz Penny finds a little backhand flip break.
Taking a look at that replay, you're going to see Liz Penny hits Cree for the wide open goal. We've got Fury up 7-4. You know, Bart, one last question for you. What does Fury have to do to lock down their 6th championship in a row? What do you think the keys to victory for Fury are going to be, finishing out the first half and moving into the second half?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now is to deal with the elements properly. And I think Fury is going about it the right way. You try to ignore them. You try to run your offense. You try to move the disc as quickly as possible, not get trapped on those, especially that downwind sideline. And I think they're a little bit more successful than right now in trying to ignore the elements. And if they keep doing that, I think they're on a good path.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everyone here at the Next Gen crew, I want to thank Bart Watson for coming up and joining us. Bart, congratulations. Enjoy this victory. Enjoy this national championship. You're really adding to the list there. You know, save some for the rest of us, huh?
Great. Thanks so much. Hopefully
Thanks a
we'll
lot.
see you guys streaming in Japan.
All right, so we do have a timeout on the field. Riot looking to stop some of Fury's momentum, looking to stop them going up into this, finishing up this first half 8-4. Little bit of momentum picking up for Fury, which is, kind of exactly what we had talked about in the beginning. Whichever team was going to start out on top, kind of making that breakout in the beginning, that's the team that is going to be looking to come ahead at the end of this game. And I think, one of the things that's making it tough right now on Riot, one of the things that they had clearly tried to work on before coming in is all the different defensive looks that Fury is throwing at them. And Lou, do you have any sense for kind of how, that investment, bringing in Sockeye players is paying out for them at this point?
I think they're still struggling with it. And the difference that I've seen between the success Fury's had over the last 3 or 4 points and the struggles that Riot has had is the comfort of the throwers with the win. There's that period throughout the first 8 points of the game, both teams very uncomfortable with the conditions. But as we saw in that last point, Alex Snyder, Emily Damon, Nancy Sun, those big 3 handlers for Fury, so comfortable in the conditions. I don't see anybody on Riot who looks happy to have the disc in the hands right now.
So that Fury pull is going to sail out of bounds. Claire Suver will pick up the disc at the break mark. Liz Penny to mark. And it looks like that 4-man that we just saw from Fury.
I think Maddie's found something he likes. He's going to ride it for a little bit.
Gwen Ambler trying to go over the top. Fury defender gets a hand on it, but brought down. Kate Kingery now with the disc. Still in the zone.
See Riot really trying to crash the cup to open it up, reset the disc quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, definitely looking to get those short, quick passes rather than those long ones around that had really been giving them trouble. Just back to Alyssa Weatherford, trying to work it here right outside the end zone. Getting forced back a bit. Ambler now with the disc. She goes big over the top, opening up a little bit of space, but Fury doing a good job to recover their cup. Nice work there to maintain the shape.
That's really a throw that I don't know if anyone else on the field has besides Gwen. She's really tall, able to lift that one and just float it over the top.
So Suver, Weatherford, and Ambler working behind the disc for Riot. Ambler going again over the top. Again, they can't find someone on that momentum. But Kingery finds one through the middle. Oh, and that last pass just out of reach of the Riot cutter. And Fury will resume possession. That was number
Maddie Frey
16.
coming up short.
Yeah. So Riot in a man D against Fury's horizontal stack. Snyder finds Dansker. A little bit of space there. Oh, fouled hard on the mark as she tries to pivot.
Interesting note about here's the foul. A little bit of an ankle injury there, maybe knocking knees.
Yeah, that's definitely saw some knee contact there.
That's 48. Aaron Gallagher on the ground for Riot.
Riot zone offense and what we saw there on that point, and also what I was what I saw at Northwest Regionals when they played Fury in the finals was as they get more and more uncomfortable, instead of spreading out and creating space, more and more players come and circle around the disc so that even if they do manage to work it inside the cup in open lanes or get even through the cup, they don't have anything to go to downfield because they brought so many players back to try just to get a reset.
You know, and that's often, like you said, you know, it's just kind of a comfortability and a confidence. And when you're not able to work around that zone, you want to get as close and make those passes as easy as possible. And often, you know, that really creates more trouble than if you were to space it out.
One of the fundamentals of that two-handler zone offense that so many teams run these days is you're playing two handlers against the 3 or 4 people that the other team is bringing up into the cup. What that does for you is you're saying you can't keep our 2 guys from playing catch. And when we get it through, we're going to have a 5-on-4. We're going to have a 5-on-3. We're going to have open people down the field. Riot, by bringing everybody back, is forgoing that advantage.
So Fury disc back in play. Alex Snyder looking long with big inside-out huck. And that's Cree Howard coming in. I think disc intended for Lakshmi Narayan. Cree making a big bid on it, but
we're going to
just
see an
Cree's
awesome bid by Cree.
She's going to turn uncatchable into she should have had it.
So Fury setting their 4-person zone once again. Riot's Ambler, Suver, and Weatherford moving the disc now.
Riot doesn't have any cutters farther downfield than 15 yards from the disc.
So even if they can find that little punch through, they have, you know, no continue looks, and the zone will definitely have time to continue to be set up and kind of lock them in.
You know, I'm really noticing for Riot, number 13, Heidi Marie Clements, she's really efficient at popping into the cup and making lots of fakes to move the defense. Here she is with the disc right now. She's really got incredible disc skills. I'd look to get the disc to her and see if she can pop one through, throw a fake, and maybe get a quick around.
Oh, and there's that aggressive Liz Penny mark we see getting big Ds for them as she hand blocks Suver in that cup. Suver looking to get one right back. There's contact from Suver's foot to Nancy Sun's hand.
No contest there from Claire Suver, becoming in 0.
Lou and Megan, that's the 4th touch on the disc by a Fury mark so far this game. 2 hand blocks.
Liz Penny now working the other side of the disc. Finds Snyder a bit the backhand around. Continues it to Narayan. Fury getting into their end zone set here. Well defended by Riot. They can't find something right away. Have to keep the disc moving out. And Snyder finding Liz Penny. You know, that's teammates being together, you know, together for a long time. They just kind of look at each other. No cutting, you know, Liz Penny just standing there.
Hey, you'll see Snyder just work the mark. She sees Liz Penny as the separation, and that Fry has stepped back away to open up that inside-out lane. She just powers it right in there.
So with that score, we're going to go into half. Fury up 8 on Riot with 4. You know, Mario, kind of looking back on kind of how things are going definitely going Fury's way. What does Riot need to kind of clean up? You know, what are they going to be talking about in this halftime and be able to salvage something out of this game?
I mean, one thing you got to look to is throws and catches. Riot coming out not terribly fundamentally sound in the first half, and I think really they've got to make an adjustment. Whether it's making an extra fake, Fury just seems to be getting their hands on so many discs. Those are the types of mistakes that you just absolutely can't have if you're going to beat a team like Fury. Fury is not going to turn the disc over too much. They're going to convert on a lot of their turns. And they're just too good to give them that many more chances at the disc.
Yeah, so great first half here, a play in the Women's Division Championship. We're going to go to halftime, but we'll be back with a lot more action in the second half in just a bit here. We've actually, before we leave, we're going to go down to the fields. We've got Lou Burris talking to Sarah Griffith. She's the captain of Riot, about what they need to do in this second half.
Lou Burris here with Sarah Griffith. Sarah, what are your impressions so far in the first half?
You know, they're doing a really good job of using their break marks to get to the high side, and that's an adjustment we're going to be making for the second half. We need to take away their rounds with our mark, and then have our cutter D step up into that inside-out space. So that's something that's working well for them on offense, and we're just going to make that adjustment. Our offense is actually playing with a lot of trust and confidence, which is really 90% of the battle, and so we're okay with that, and we're going to get that execution to come through and just play it 1 point at a time through the next half.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Lou.
Okay, back.
And throws to clean things up in this second half. We'll be back in just a little bit with more action.
Here with Maddie Zhang, coach of Fury. Maddie, impressions on the first half?
Pretty ugly offensively, and I think we got lucky that they didn't make us pay for our mistakes. So I think we're fortunate to be up right now.
You know, a lot of your goals going into the game were to use your junk defense to slow down them offensively. That seems pretty successful. What kind of adjustments do you make after a pretty successful defensive first half?
I think we show it maybe 1 or 2 more times, and then we try something else and see, so in case they get into a rhythm. And our junk Ds actually aren't that great. The only good thing is that where the turnovers are happening right now, that they're happening close to the goal line.
And what adjustments did you talk about making offensively?
We said that actually the IO going into the upwind side is really easy. So we're going to try to actually get it over to the upwind side with the IOs. And so we're going to open a nice open window and then go to the IO side. So we'll see.
Okay.
High side.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thanks.
Back to you.
All right, so that was Lou Burris with Maddie Sang, coach of Fury, who after the first half have a convincing lead right now, 8-4 over Riot. And so Riot, looking kind of to get things together, kind of regroup. What are some of the ways in which, we're seeing them make an effort to improve their mental game?
It's funny you mentioned that, Megan. Riot put an intentional effort to really work on their mental games this year, and that was spearheaded by Serge Griffith. They really want to make sure that everyone is staying in the present when they're faced with situations where it feel like it's not in your control. They've also done things like used visualizations. It's something that they like to call their mental highlight reel, and they've developed techniques to use when they see each other maybe getting nervous, showing signs of distress. And it's going to be really important for Riot to stay mentally tough in the second half. They are down, and if they want to get back into it, they need to make sure that they stay in the present, focus on 1 point at a time, and get them back. I mean that's the only way they're going to be able to get it back.
So Riot coming down on the pole on defense in red. Fury still looking calm, possessing the disc well, moving the disc laterally from side to side. Just nice quick disc movement here. Alex Snyder looking for Georgia Boscher. Can't find her, looks for the IO. Cree Howard can't get in the end zone. Riot doing a good job to defend, except Ambler just trailing there on Boscher.
I tell you what, that's set up by Alex Snyder's break throw. She's out there. It's basically like she's throwing without a mark. She's just getting whatever she wants. Watch her reach inside for this IO. Impossible to make a play as a defender. Nice fakes by Howard. Finds Boscher coming across the front. Easy goal for Fury.
One thing I noticed while I was down on the sideline at halftime, it's not as windy as it was at the beginning of the game. I think that the Fury throwers have recognized that fact and adjusted. I'm expecting Riot to make a similar adjustment here, and I think this game is going to clean up. We're not going to see as many 4 or 5 turnover points. We'll see a lot more one-possession goals from both teams.
We talked a little bit about Riot's mental toughness while you were down giving your interview, Lou. How important is it here in the second half for Riot to just stay loose?
I think we talked about not trying to look ahead. You talked about not trying to look ahead. I think one of the biggest things that they have to avoid is not trying to look behind. That not to look back at the 6 championships Fury has won. The times that they've come here hoping and expecting to win and not won, they can't carry the weight of all those years. Part of appropriate mental strength and focus is to be focused on the moment and the point that you're playing, not those that are ahead, and very importantly in this case, not the ones that are behind.
So Georgia Boscher with a big high pull for Fury coming down in a zone. It's not the 4-man trap. It's a little poacher, almost like a 1-3-3 with Georgia Boscher in the deep position. So again, mixing it up, lots of different looks. Drew Johnson controlling the disc right now for Riot. And that's Christy Bowen coming in and getting the D on Kate Kingery.
Sneaky D there.
She's small. You don't see her coming.
I'm not here, I'm not here, I'm not here, I'm here. D.
Nice little break around by the lefty Ness Fallardo. Alex Snyder looking for Castle Synchrope in the end zone, has to bid, can't come up with it. So Shannon O'Malley getting Riot's offense going quickly here, a little too quickly. Another turnover right outside the end zone, putting Fury in a good position for another break. Snyder loops one, catches in the wind.
Rare mistake by Snyder there.
Yeah, that's Drew Johnson coming down with the D. But then drops it a moment later. So now this is the 3rd chance for Fury right on this end zone to put it into the upwind for the score. And Alex Snyder finds Manisha Dariani, who has to tow it in as she clap catches that. Fury taking another one, 9-4.
Again, Riot looking very frustrated. Okay. Dariani, really nice job. She knows she has time. She gets very clean, precise placement with her feet. Then she looks to make that catch. You know, we talked a lot here about Riot's mental game. On the flip side, I think Fury has one of the strongest mental games in Ultimate. One of the things that they do so well is prepare and game plan and make adjustments. We saw a great example of that right here where Maddie Zhang coming out of half says, we really want to hit the high side with inside outs. That very first point, Alex Snyder hits 2 big forehand inside outs, going to the high side of the field. That sets them up with an easy goal. And that ability of a team to hold that focus, to be able to take the words of a coach to say, have the coach say, we want to hit the high side with inside outs, and then put that into practice. It's a really difficult skill for a team to achieve, and it's a testament to the job that both Matt and the women on the Fury team have done.
So Alex Snyder with the pull here for Fury. Brought down by Clement. Centered it up to Johnson. Fury again coming down in this 1-3-3 look. Johnson controlling the disc, finds a nice little loop through there to Clemens. Suver. And Riot working the disc better now, showing some signs of life.
The difference here, they're catching the disc and getting rid of it immediately.
But again, just a little bit of a rush. You know, that pass intended for number 16, Maddie Frey. The Alden Fletcher gets a hand on it. There's a foul on the play.
Observer's still trying to sort it out there.
So Riot, you know, still trying to find that nice, happy medium between moving the disc well and finding that nice, fluid game and just moving a little too quickly. You know, we've seen a couple turnovers in the past few points, just rushes, you know, rushing the pass, not really finding the receiver.
I think they're still a little bit troubled by the wind. Not technically troubled, but mentally they're still carrying the weight that it's a windy day. And that's making them just a little bit hesitant. And that hesitancy is leading to these turnovers.
So Observer overrules that turn. Fury will take over possession. Emily Damon find that nice little inside out to Liz Penny. over to Gorlin. Oh, and an errant pass to Alex Snyder's knocked down by Val Dion, and Riot moving the disc quickly, and just, you know, that's Clemens. They're putting up the disc to that downwind side, just not enough on it. And Surge, I mean, Surge is fast, but she is not that fast.
Throws and catches, Lou. Throws and catches on that one.
You know, I give a little credit to the marker there for being big, not letting the throw come clean and straight up field, pushing it to the outside where the wind was able to knock it down.
So Fury taking over. Liz Penny now with the disc. And there's seems to be some stalling downfield, not a lot of cutting action, but Nancy Sun putting up an interesting throw there for Gorlin. It was a really tight angle and well defended.
I think she got over the top of that throw and hooked it inside out instead of throwing. I hooked it outside in instead of throwing the soft inside out. She was attempting to throw.
So Fury now defending in this zone. Riot working to get it out off their end zone.
Drew Johnson seems to be really involved in this zone offense. There you see her with the big swing to Clemens.
And Dion taking a deep shot, but Fletcher comes down with it, gets moving quickly right back to Snyder. Fury back on offense.
A misread by Cardenas. She had position and gave it up.
So Gorlin now with the disc. There appears to be a
pick call
pick
on
on
the
the
stack.
call, but appears that she's not close enough for that to go into effect. So Gorlin will maintain possession. Penny now, no cutters upfield. Oh, Gorlin with an interesting high release flick on that high stall count, giving the disc back in Nancy Sun's hands. That's a nice D there by Maddie Frey of Riot, but just turns it. Claire Super with the drop right on the end zone. Nancy Sun now unmarked. No Fury cutters cutting. Emily Damon also unmarked.
Interesting zone set up here, Fury. Look how everyone is spaced around the field.
And Serge Griffith gets a hand on that pass from Alex Snyder, gets the D. So Riot back on O. Griffith puts up a big huck. There's intended for Clemens. Dion actually comes down with it and is able to get that quick little pass off to Maddie Frey for a Riot score. So a lot of turns that point. A little bit, you know, just again rushing kind of on Riot side, on Fury side, starting to look a little bit fatigued, not getting a lot of their cutter action upfield, and just kind of forcing some throws that they don't need to make.
You know, I think the reason that we saw Riot able to score that upwind goal is they finally threw an upwind huck that was catchable. So many of their upwind huck turnovers have been ones where the receiver has no chance. You see, this one's going to hang. So even though Clement is not able to make the play, Dion, who's doing a great job of following the play, can come in, make the catch, and then an easy little flip to Cardenas for the goal. But again, it's throwing something that gives your receiver an opportunity. That was the difference on that play.
Yeah, you got to throw it flat. You just got to let it sit. I mean, if you put, especially in this amount of wind, if you put any type of outside in or inside out on that disc, and the wind catches that edge of the disc, it's going to the turf.
You know, one of the first kind of deep shots that we've actually seen completed here in this game, both teams, you know, tending to play more on the possession side of things. When I'm used to seeing a lot of big hucks from both these teams. I mean, are we blaming that one on the weather again, or are we thinking, you know, kind of wanting to play more conservatively in this big game situation?
Well, I think on Riot's side, you're seeing a lot of the personnel turnover. They both Jen Wilson and Miranda Roth retired. Those were two of their biggest throwers. They also sent their best receiver, Liz Duffy, to Ozone. I think that's been a big part of their change in offensive philosophy. On Fury's side, I think Riot's doing a really nice job actually of containing those deep looks, but it's at the expense of giving up the unders.
So Fury now clearly in possession. Hannah Krailkamp trying to make that D there on Boscher, but a great layout bid. Fajardo now working the disc around. Finding Boscher again.
Shannon O'Malley's got a great mark, just hassling the Fury handler.
And that D, that was all Shannon O'Malley's mark. Fajardo has to put up a blade, basically an uncatchable throw on a high stall count. And that's got to be, you know, that's got to be a big deal for Shannon O'Malley, kind of to have that in her back pocket.
Yeah, just a great job of Shannon to recognize that Fajardo did not want to throw, was not comfortable with the disc. Gave up any pretense of trying to hold a force. Unfortunate drop here.
So Keely Dins with that drop on a pass from Hannah Krailkamp. Georgia Boscher will pick up for Fury. And Cardenas just showing her speed, beating Casey up line, getting that disc back for Riot, and O'Malley immediately puts up a huck. A nice athletic play there by Dins to try and reach for it, but Boscher just laying out for that D. No, that's a fun matchup. You know, both of those players are athletic, really good at getting high. You see some huge bids from them. If they continue to mark up on each other, that'll be a fun one to watch.
Okay. Junk D from Riot.
I like the adjustment here from Riot. Gotta change something up. See if you can generate a turnover.
Casey now with the disc for Fury, working the quick little give-go. There's a foul on the throw. No contest. Again, working that little give-go, not really working around the cup, kind of just staying on that downwind sideline. And now able to find some space. Boscher stretches it over to Abby Christopher. Really working that cup now. Nice movement. Jurgensen's gonna look all the way across field, but Hannah Kawai coming up big, Riot defender. And there is a travel call on Kawai. Get another look at it. She does tap it in. Not quite sure what Dariani's calling here.
You know, this game has really reached a critical point for Riot. It's 10-5. 11-5 is unreachable. 11-5 is an unreachable, insurmountable lead. Thank you. They're looking at 70 yards to go downwind to score here. This is the part of the game where they need to be fighting tooth and nail with this 5-goal deficit.
And Shannon taking a deep shot here. Oh, trying to find Kawhi. Dariani getting that D back. Great little matchup there. Kawhi getting the D on the other end zone. Dariani getting the layout on this end.
You're going to see an incredible athletic play here by Fury. Wow.
You know, Riot's playing this 4-person trapping cup. I think they need to be tighter and more aggressive. A 4-person cup's a sellout D. You don't want to sell out halfway. If you're going to sell out, sell out.
And that Boscher finding that space as Cardenas comes in on that pop, and they're able to open things up. Kayla Jurgensen now with the disc for Fury, and the cup just trailing behind as they transition to man. Casey finds Dariani, who just can't get a hold on a little bit of angle on that throw, but there's an injury called as Dariani lands hard on that catch attempt.
You know, really interesting play by Lauren Casey there, following the turn. She sees the turn happen. Immediately, she turns and starts running deep to contain the Riot fast break. She's not even waiting to see if it's being picked up, waiting to see if there's any sort of receivers. She's immediately beginning to get herself into position. So here we see the drop, Dariani, and there goes Lauren Casey sprinting deep, almost as if she's going to be the intended receiver.
I mean, she is a veteran player. She has been a member of this Fury team for a number of years now, won a lot of championships down with her career at Stanford. Cardenas puts up another one looking for Kawhi. This time able to bring it down just outside the end zone. Little lefty backhand. Very cheeky throw there. Finds Keely Dins for a Riot score.
Nancy Sun's going to be thinking about that one. Opportunity like that, flying in late, they don't come all that often.
This could be a confidence builder here for Riot. Hannah Kawhi makes a great read. Fun little pass here. Might generate some energy for Riot.
So we said 11-5 was insurmountable. How about 10-6? What is Riot going to have to do here? Are they going to stay with that 4-person zone?
I'm not sure what they're going to do. In terms of strategically, at this point I think it's less important what Riot does. Is mentally they keep fighting, that they keep chopping. Each point that they put in the bank, in this case to bring it to 10-6, they know that that gives them another opportunity to go out and play again. And so at this stage of the game, they want to just keep scoring, keep themselves on the positive note as much as they can, and again, not think very much.
So Riot's D-line getting a chance to come out here. We see Shannon O'Malley staying on the line. Val Dion to pull for Riot.
Okay. It does look like it's, the way they're discussing things, it does look like it's going to be a junk D. Wind still pretty strong, moving from right to left across your screen.
And a nice big huck, or a big pull there from Val Dion. And we do see them come down a little bit different this time. It's a 3-person, and it's just not tight enough. Snyder able to sneak one through there to Narayan.
Surgical.
They're still in it.
throw.
Maddie Zhang has put in Alex Snyder, Emily Damon, and Nancy Sun, all 3 of his top handlers.
And they're doing a good job to move the disc. Nancy Sun now trapped on that sideline. Damon unmarked, Shannon O'Malley trying to pick her up. Not able to swing it over. Oh, there's that nice IO from Snyder, just being able to step around. Oh, and that is Dara Clancy just overshoots Narayan in this downwind corner. It's really nice possession point and just can't make that last throw. So
Yep.
Riot gets a chance here.
The more Riot can force the disc out of Alex Snyder's hands into the hands of some of these inexperienced receivers, the better their chances are going to be.
And it kind of a tricky throw there. Drew able to keep that alive for Riot. Finds Gwen Ambler in the middle with Kawhi with a lot of space. Or that's actually Nora Carr, excuse me. Makes the bid on the play.
You know, again, Gwen goes to that outside in backhand that's been so unsuccessful in this game. There's no foul on the play. If she throws at it as an inside out, it's not, I don't think she's going to have, it's not going to have the distance to be a goal, but it's going to be a completion.
So Nancy Sun picking up for Fury, finding Emily Damon right away, and Fury really moving the disc quickly up this downwind side. Alden Fletcher swings it around to Sun. Finds Narayan, a little bit of space there, but she can't hit it around the mark. Nice little break there from Narayan. And Snyder with that IO forehand finds Dara Clancy.
Alex Snyder's inside-out forehand is winning this game.
She's such a big, powerful player. You know, she can really step around, and she pretty much has that throw all day. I've yet to see, you know, a Riot player take that away from her.
How about that around backhand that hit Snyder and put her in that position? Incredible fundamentals from Fury. They step way out. They stay balanced. They throw catchable break throws, putting themselves in position with lots of space.
You know, the resets that we're seeing Fury throw in this game, their ability to move the disc to the high side of the field, that's what we saw Ironside missing this morning. What ended up costing Ironside the game was their inability to get those resets. Fury putting on a clinic of how to work the backhand when it's there, and if it's not there and you have a player like Snyder, she's able to take advantage and hit the inside outs.
Snyder is absolutely just, she's not just breaking marks, she's dismantling marks out there.
We got Liz Penny in on defense on the left. Usually an indication that Fury's going to be playing some kind of junk defense. Liz Penny up front to create some havoc on the mark.
So Nancy Sun taking one and going back to 2 handlers. We're going to see number 5, Emily Damon, number 4, Alex Snyder here for Fury.
To
Snyder
answer,
on the pole.
Riot's got Suver, Johnson, and Clement.
Kind of short pull there. And you're right, we see Fury coming down in that 4-person. Right. And there's some contact on the throw, disc slips out. It's no contest on the foul.
Again, even here when they're working more or less downfield, all 7 of the Riot players are within 15 yards of the disc.
But they do a nice job to sneak it out, and Hannah Krautkamp with a great bid to keep the disc alive. Oh, and Emily Damon with a big bid defensively, but Hannah Kawai holds on to it. Clement swings. Now Riot finding some space to this backhand side. Suver working the disc. Back to Clemens. Back to Suver.
No pressure on Danziger, the Fury deep.
Yeah, she really, I mean, she can just stand there all day. There's no one making her even concerned. Everything's in front of her.
And more importantly, it allows her to push in Snyder and Gorlin to put pressure on that cup.
So Suver putting up a not pretty backhand that catches that tail side of the wind, but it goes over the defenders, and Kingery able to come down with it.
You'll see it. Really, a visionary throw here from Claire Suver. Trying to reach across the field, I think, to Griffiths. Instead, the disc pops way up in the air, drifts down to the downwind side of the field where only Kate Kingery can make the play.
So Riot working themselves out of that zone, getting another point on the board to take it 11-7, Fury over Riot.
Again, they're giving themselves an opportunity to stay in the game. Come out here, play strong D, get themselves a block. What I would like to see from Riot right now, Gwyn Ambler, Riot captain, I would like to see her go toe-to-toe with Alex Snyder and generate a turnover. Well, I'm not sure we have Alex in right now.
I don't think, yeah, I would love to see that as well. But
Nancy Sun and Emily Damon going to be handling the disc, although Georgia Boscher has moved in, I think, to provide some firepower for Fury.
So Alyssa Weatherford with the pull for Riot. Disc is up. It's a good pull.
Mistake there, letting that one touch the ground there for Fury.
Oh, nice grab there by Fayard. A little bit over her head, but she snags it down. Damon now controlling the disc. Fury not able to find space onto that upwind side. There's a nice IO there to Boscher, still keeping it with the disc in the middle of the field. And Boscher finally finding that around. Jurgensen now with the disc. Finds a wide open Chrissy Bowen. And she gets the look from Boscher over the shoulder, puts up a nice looping forehand around. That's some nice communication there.
One of the structural pieces that Fury does is they provide themselves 2 options at all time. They use their horizontal stack and the way they run their cuts to provide an inside-out look. And if that's not there, because the marker's taking it away, that gives them the easy around. Great touch throw here for the goal. Too much separation for Boscher.
So no timeout call, just taking a little while to get back to the line. Riot needing to answer back now. Fury 3 points away from another national championship.
12-8 is not an insurmountable lead. Riot can put this one in, call a timeout, get some focus, and begin mounting a comeback.
So be curious to see how what Fury comes down in within this next D point. You know, Riot able to work out of that 4-person trap cup the last point. We'll see if they mix it up once again. Drew Johnson receiving for Riot. It is a little bit different. We can see it's a little bit junkier, more like a 1-3-3. Just filling in the lanes there. Dion with the disc for Riot. Oh, and she finds a nice little around the mark break throw. Gets Drew Johnson now moving the disc quickly for Riot, getting it right back to Cardenas on the sideline. O'Malley now controlling the disc.
Okay, here's Cardenas stretching it down the sideline. Finally, somebody giving Riot a little bit of a deep look.
But now you see her come all the way back to the disc. So she gets the disc, but there's just no continue for that. There's a nice in-cut there from Maddie Frey. And Fury now converting to pure man. Riot looking to make that same play that we saw in the last play from Bowen to Bosher, but a little too much edge on it, not enough communication. O'Malley can't make the play. So Damon will take over for Fury at the cone. Maddie Frey on the mark. Nice little poach D there by Kate Kingery.
Some kind of a call here.
Looks like Snyder's making the call that she was bumped, and that was the reason she actually wasn't able to come up with the catch.
Take a look at that play. Snyder's going to drift upfield. Emily Damon opts not to break the mark to her. She's going to try to get back down low, and she's saying there's just a little bit of a bump there, impinging the catch. I think from the booth, we didn't see enough of a contact to support a call. You know, I talked with the observers at halftime, and they said that, interestingly, Riot is choosing not to come to them. This is, I think, one of the first times that Riot's gone to the observers at all this game, while Fury has on a number of occasions gone to the observers to ask for calls.
So our observers working this game today, we have 4 of them. We have Mitch Dangler, Walter Kwong, Mark Fritz, and Linda Kudo.
Alley-oop for the goal.
That's 2 in a row for Kate Kingery. Not quite sure that's how Riot wants to draw it up.
Let's get another look at that.
I think they're going to take it.
So
Deed and macked by Cardenas and Dariani. Kate Kingery in the right place at the right time. 2 points in a row.
another great athletic bid from Dariani, kind of all over the field to make those Ds. But yeah, Kingery just in the right spot. And that brings it to 8-12.
That's interesting. The last 2 0 points for Riot coming downwind. 2 goals that, you know, oops-a-daisies is what you say when you catch those ones, but it's more like whoops-a-daisies. Look what we just did. Look what I found.
I think at this point, Riot's going to take it. You know, I think defensively, Riot should stick to playing man. They should close out the inside outs, make Fury swing the disc back and forth. They can't, we've seen in this game, they can't take away both those things. They can't take away the inside out and the around.
And the advantage of going with that around, especially when they hit that as they're going upwind, as we saw Fury struggling earlier and really not connecting on those kind of swing passes going straight upwind.
Also has the advantage, the around gets you no yards, and the inside out gets you 10 or 15.
So Ambler with the pull for Riot. Coming down in man. Oh, and Suver almost with a D there, but Fury will maintain possession. Their cutters churning downfield. Liz Penny able to grab a disc thrown slightly behind her.
Great dump defense there to deny Alex Snyder the disc.
Finding
Force
Nikki
middle
Bloom.
from force middle here from Riot.
And that forced middle causing a Fury turnover. Riot will pick up the disc here on the upwind side.
Second turnover for Nikki Bloom in this game.
Yeah, I really think the key was back at the beginning of that play when they forced Snyder to go back downfield. Got her, got her out of the play. You definitely want someone besides Snyder making those throws out there.
So no one there for Suber's Huck, but does give an improved field position. Fury will take over. Fletcher with the disc. Finds Fiardo. Swings out. Oh, and just a drop there. Oh, there appears to be some contact.
Strip call.
Strip called. Penny looking deep, but not taking the shot. Finds Fiardo on the round past a diving Claire Suver.
That's 2 near misses for Suver this point.
And Krailkamp almost getting that one on Penny, and Serge almost getting the one on Snyder, but not able to put the mark on. Snyder able to just step around and find Nikki Bloom for the catch in the end zone. So we saw a lot more fire kind of from Riot right at the end there. A lot of great efforts on D, but in the end, Fury able to just maintain possession.
Okay. You know, I think this point's going to hinge on Riot's inability to convert. They're going to end this point with a really nice throw from Claire Suver. Beautiful touch throw, the kind of huck they've been needing all game. Unfortunately, there isn't anybody cutting for it. Riot's got to put both those things together, the deep cut and a catchable throw.
So Fury closing in now. Riot really needing to, find some finesse here in their O game and bring that fire they brought from that last point out again on the next line if they want to stay in this game.
Interesting D-line here from Fury. Nancy Sun, the only one of those big 3 handlers for Fury on the line.
We'll see her working the disc back with Casey. And like you said, we'll have kind of that extra firepower, Bosher as well.
We do have Liz Penny and Narayan in. Let's see some kind of junk, possibly a box in one.
Bosher with a really high floating pull. Will stay just in. Great pull, sticks right on that downwind side. Riot picks up, Drew to Cardenas. Cardenas on the downwind sideline. Drew gets some separation upfield. Oh, and gets that backhand around that just kind of hung. Thought it was headed towards the end zone.
It was
but
point
stopped.
blocked.
Oh, okay. Kate Kickery again coming up with the second effort. Nora Carr now with the disc. Drew Johnson. Ooh, gets a lot of contact from Casey on that mark.
That looked pretty brutal, but most of that contact was initiated by Drew Johnson.
Drew just stepping around. Disc hangs in the air. 2 Fury defenders there over O'Malley. There's a call on the throw.
Okay. It's the reach.
Nice camera work there by our ace cameraman on the sideline, Ian Lunger.
Okay. And this is coming in. It looks contested, but not going to the observer.
So coming in on stall 3. Drew Johnson finds Nora Carr. And another call. There's a disc on the field.
Can't quite make the grab over there, guy in the green shirt.
Okay. I'd like to take this moment to give a big shout out to our volunteers this weekend. This event never would have been possible without them.
Nice little give go from Carr, but Sun doing a good job to strike on that. And Kingery with the catch, trying to get in. Can't, has it on the end zone. Oh, the little lefty backhand. Finding Cardenas. Kate Kingery just playing really big in this second half for Riot, providing a lot of firepower for them.
2 goals and an assist in these last 3 points for Kate Kingery. She tries to do the footwork to get in, can't find it. Really does not have a whole lot. She fits this nice little lefty backhand into a tight window.
And earlier in that point, she also came up with that throw that had been point blocked to keep the disc in possession for Riot.
So we're standing at Fury 13, Riot 9. We're about 16 minutes from the cap. This really does become a do or die point for Riot. 14-9 with what would be about 12 or 13 minutes going to the cap. That it would be an insurmountable lead. 13-10, however, that's a winnable game. I'm not sure how aware Riot is of the clock management. They haven't completely stacked their line defensively here. Wait. Great defenders out there, though, with Ambler, Griffith, Kawhi, Berman, Dion.
Dion with the pull for Riot. Or that's Alex Snyder picking up. Finding Damon gets a quick little set of possessions. And Nancy Sun sees Howard going
Ambler
deep.
coming in from behind.
Oh, and Ambler coming in. Cree Howard just kind of stops her run. Really no attempt at the disc there.
Ambler came in hard and forced Cree to make the tough play, and then as soon as Cree realized it, she'd kind of been drawn in and had no chance to get that disc. It sailed over both players.
So Riot takes over with a chance to get a break here.
Huge possession here for Riot. This
Berman
absolutely
finds-
has to be a goal if they want to creep back into this game.
Good disc movement from Riot. Kawhi now possessing. Sets out a big backhand to Sarah Griffith. Streaking deep. Comes down with it. And that's a break for Riot. That is Sarah Griffith finding Maddie Frey in the upwind end zone off a big huck from Kawhi.
You know, we mentioned it before, the difference between that throw and some of the other hucks that have been going up earlier in the game is that one was just catchable. A lot of times, as long as the offense player has a chance to catch the disc, they're usually in a better position than the defender. Just hang it up there. Give them a shot. Serge is a great player, makes the appropriate read, even though the disc is coming right over her head. Huge break for Riot.
Serge does a great job there at the very end of that play. Smaller than Nancy. She still moves herself to take the position that Nancy's going to want to take to make the play. That then creates a space where she's able to go up uncontested for that catch.
So big play here
Here,
by Riot
we're gonna
late
see
in
the-
the game.
We'll see the little move by Serge here. Right at the end, she takes that little half step back, seals Nancy, and that creates the space for the catch, and then the little flip for the goal.
So big play by Riot here late in the second half, making a surge to kind of dig themselves out of those couple of breaks that they went down. They just got one back, looking to go for another. Like Lou said, kind of a do or die situation.
You know, and if you're Riot right now, you definitely are going to get a little energy from the plays that your two captains just made. Gwen Ambler made a great read underneath. And here we go. Forces another turnover, a lapse in concentration from Fury. Drew Johnson wide open.
So just a drop there by Fury deep in their own third, and Riot able to convert. You can see them super fired up.
And here we go, 13-11 now. As you take a look at the turnover, excellent opportunity for fast break. They had numbers. Fury is trailing on the play. They take their time. They're patient. Eventually, you're going to find the gaps if you've got the advantage going into the end zone.
That was a nice little stutter step there by Hannah Kryelkamp to find that separation. Just really easy throw there for Drew Johnson.
You know, you've really got to credit Riot for just hanging in there in the second half. We talked about it at halftime. Is this team going to be able to stay mentally strong enough to hang in there, get them back? And here we've seen 2 breaks in a row, but here they are. They've maintained their composure, and now they're in a position to get within 1 goal late in the game.
Riot's put in a very offensively strong lineup here. We have Kate King, we have Drew Johnson, we have Clement on the line. Those three women, they've been playing offense all game. Very interesting sub-calling strategies to see them coming in defensively at 13-11.
So Fury with the disc now. Alex Snyder. Riot in a 4-person zone. Emily Damon now finds Snyder again. And Snyder with that inside out just opens things up. Riot moving into transitioning into man. Ambler still holding deep. Doing a good job to contain here.
Not a lot of movement downfield for Fury right now.
And Snyder puts up a huck. Chrissy Bowen just can't get there. Does a really great job of Riot to transition out of that zone, pick up man. Fury was not fast enough to get their offense moving, and they generate a turn out of it.
You know, it looked like Snyder just got a little bit impatient. Nothing going on downfield. Might have felt like she needed to make something happen there for Fury.
Particularly strange considering she had both Sun and Damon on the field with her.
Nice little athletic play there by Keely Dintz to reel in that one from Weatherford. It's a foul on the throw.
Yeah, Weatherford did a great job recognizing the poach in the middle of the field, saw where the poach had came from, and hit the open receiver.
Dintz back to Weatherford, losing quite a few yards there for Riot, but maintaining possession. Finding Drew Johnson in the middle. Dintz finds a low one for Crowell Camp.
Fury looks tired.
They
Lots
are.
of separation.
Riot's legs really showing off late in this game. Kingery finding Dintz on the sideline, being guarded by Snyder. Inside out. Oh, and just a drop there by Clemens.
Tough break there for Riot.
Kate Kingery on the mark, Alex Snyder. They're back in the 4-person, but Snyder again, that IO just shredding that zone. Able to open things all the way up to the side. Nancy Sun with the disc. Riot back into man. This time the transition not as smooth. Snyder being guarded by Crowell Camp. Swings it out to Bowen. Bowen puts one up. Has Jurgensen, but Dintz coming in to make the defensive play. Jurgensen making the foul call.
You know, I think Dintz had really nice position here. Kayla came in late. Interesting to see on the replay what this contact's going to look like. The throw short, Dintz is underneath.
You know, it almost looked like Jorgensen knew that she was going to have a play on the disc and actually moved into the defensive player to almost draw the contact.
Looking to see Fury looking to find that Santa Barbara connection there, and Bowen to Jurgensen.
Observer does rule that it is a foul, and I saw Maddie Zhang on the sideline signaling timeout to Jorgensen.
And a timeout will be taken by Fury here. So an important point here for Fury. They have it on the end zone.
Yeah.
2 points to go to 15.
I think when we go back and look at this tape for this whole game, we're going to see this play from Dentz to Clement as being one of the pivotal plays in this game. Fury looking exhausted on D. Alex Snyder allowing separation, not getting over on the mark. Clement drops an open throw with Damon. Clemens drops the open throw with Emily Damon trailing behind. Fury's unable to work it down, and they're standing 3 inches from 14-11. Mario, if you're Riot, what do you do here defensively?
Well, first of all, you've got to get the right matchups. I would expect Fury to come out, put their ace cutters in the open lanes here. Make sure you get the right matchups. You know, the wind really is blowing right to left across your screen. I don't think that they would go zone here, but I definitely think you need to tell your weak side defenders to help poach the lanes. Not likely that Jorgensen's going to throw a hammer over the top in this situation.
Right now,
This
looking like they're. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
And just, you know, we had 2 defenders there on Cree Howard, Keely Dintz on the inside, Gwen Ambler on the backside, and Howard just shakes her for the goal.
It looks like she wasn't even ready for the disc to be tapped in. She's going to turn her head, and the disc gets tapped in when she's not even looking. And she goes right by.
And that's just, you know, that's a mistake by Riot. You know, if you're in this situation, you have to get this D. Got to have that communication between the person tapping in the disc and your defenders downfield. And that's just a really unfortunate mistake here late in the game for Riot.
(14-11) Fury. Pulling, interesting. Maddie's playing, choosing to play some players we've not seen a whole lot of this game. Alden Fletcher, I think, is seeing perhaps her first point of the game. We still have those anchors of Nancy Sun and Emily Damon in. Narayan will be, of course, cutting for Fury should they get the disc. Riot coming the other way. We see the Hanley trio of Shannon O'Malley, Drew Johnson, Claire Suver.
Nancy Sun with the pull for Fury. They are looking to take their game point right now, and that disc lands just out of bounds. Shannon O'Malley, will pick it up for Riot. So Riot must score to stay in this game, setting up in their horizontal stack. Fury now in man. It's Cardenas with the disc, finding 55 Nora Carr in the middle of the field. And Cardenas streaking deep, but there's an injury on the play. That's Maddie Fry down for Riot. She'll come off the field. Hannah Kawai will come in to replace her. The disc will stay with O'Malley. Narayan on the mark. Suver now, nice inside to Cardenas, but just out of her reach. Dion can't pick it up either. Fury now in possession with a chance to win this national championship. Finds Narayan, swings it out to Alicia Barr. Fajardo around to Damon, working the disc laterally. A low one from Damon there, but Fury able to come up with it. Finding Narayan back in the middle, moving the disc well. Riot playing good defense, not able to get a ton of momentum here. Just nice possession here from Fury. Inside out from Sun. Oh, and that is out of reach for Alden Fletcher. Riot will live to fight another possession.
She just forces that into a pretty tight window. Lets the lip of the disc get up and the wind grabs it. Turns it over, makes it uncatchable.
Nora Carr now with the disc for Riot, swinging it out to Johnson. Fury taking a little while to figure out their matchups. Hannah Kawai with the disc, finding Cardenas. Back to Kawai. Swings it over to O'Malley. And Suver launches her backhand. Oh, and Nora Carr, the receiver, kind of just gets turned around. It's right over her head, and you know, that's some fatigue coming in there.
Just also unfortunate miscommunication with with Shannon O'Malley. Shannon O'Malley's thinking, hey, let's play the little rinky-dink game. Claire Suver winds up and finds O'Malley right in her throwing lane.
So Damon now picking up for Fury to Narayan. Riot forcing backhand. Get her around to Fajardo. Oh, nice bid there by Kawhi. Gets the D on Alicia Barr. This is a big play from Kawhi. Has the disc now outside the end zone. Looking to see Cardenas isolated. Hits that IO over pressure from Damon, and that is a Riot score.
And a pirouette to finish it off. Khalees Cardenas with the goal, and we still got a game here, folks. Still some breathing room left. Still breathing life here for Riot.
Great play, great defensive play by Hannah Kawhi. She comes back down. She makes a fundamental mistake to hold it and stare down the alley on the goal line. She gets away with it when Cardenas makes a great catch against a diving Emily Damon. We can see here she's just holding the disc and looking. She's finally got something. Nice bid by Emily Damon, but a better catch. Okay. Little indecision from Riot as they try to figure out who they're going to put in here on a must score point.
You know, it was interesting the way they scored that goal, Lou. You know, it's been Fury that's been breaking the marks all day. On that one, it was actually Hannah Kawhi with a nice IO break to Cardenas.
I'm going to see Alex Snyder back in with Nancy Sun for Fury as they look to put this game away.
Riot defensively. Ambler, Creelcap, Clemens, Kingery, Berman, Griffiths, O'Malley.
O'Malley with the pull. That's Lauren Casey receiving. She'll also be handling back with the combination of Sun and Snyder. Riot in a 4-person cup. Looking a little bit tighter than the last time. Casey kind of shoots one out there to Bosher. Snyder and Casey working the disc. Riot doing a good job to contain. Snyder not able to get that IO. Back to Casey. Jurgensen now on the downwind side. Riot trapping in that zone. Bosher now has the disc. A little high backhand to find their way around the cup. Casey gets a shot down the line, and that's a turn. Chrissy Bowen or Kayla Jurgensen with the drop. Sarah Griffith going to pick it up. There's a foul.
Little touch foul on the mark.
On the mark. Griffith finds Kryl-Camp. And high stall count has to put one up, but Griffith able to bring it down. And the little flip right back to Kryl-Camp, and Riot is now 13-14 after a Fury turnover.
Really a desperation play by Kryl-Camp to throw that big floater. Here it comes, just tails out away from everybody, but lands right on top of Sarah Griffith. Kryl-Camp coming up the field. The exhausted Fury player trailing behind. Easy flip for the goal. You know, okay, the soft cap is on. It's game to 16 or 15 should Fury score this point. Interesting thing I saw there, unlike the other points where Fury was cutting through Riot's defense with that Alex Snyder forehand inside out, Snyder never looked at it. Instead, she threw these little backhands down the sideline, ended up getting trapped on that downwind sideline, and other Fury players, not Snyder, contributed to that turnover happening.
You know, I wonder if they made that adjustment on their zone. I wonder if everyone on the line is thinking, don't let Snyder throw that IO. Give her anything else but that IO. Make her dump it, but don't let her throw the IO. And it paid off. They got it to the sideline. forced a tough throw by Lauren Casey, generated a turnover.
You know, you got to wonder how the many new players on Fury are reacting to some unexpected late pressure.
Oh, on that rolling pull from Ambler, kind of bounces up and around Cree Howard. And Georgia Bosher takes an early rip. It's sailing with the wind.
OB.
That is going. That is out of bounds.
Alex Snyder with some strong words for Georgia Bosher after that uncatchable throw.
And here we go, quick transition here from Riot. I love this move, getting that turn, getting it going. They still have momentum.
Oh, and Riot can't get to that, just out of the hands of Ginny Ewan after some pressure from Fury. Fury will get the disc back and another chance to score and take the game right here. Oh, nice bid there. Bosher maintains it. Little backhand break for Cree Howard. Cree Howard there knocking on the end zone. And the little flip catch to Georgia Bosher, toes the end zone.
7 in a row.
And that is the game. That is 15-13 Fury over Riot after a late game surge by Riot. Fury able to come out on top. That is number 7
In a row.
in a row.
Mario,
Lou,
what did Fury do to win this game?
what did Alex Snyder do to win this game? Alex Snyder broke the mark to win this game. I think it was all about her. Riot never made the adjustment to shut down Snyder's inside-out break. And, you know, at the same time, downfield, they didn't make the adjustment. Riot known for poaching a little bit in the lanes. When you've got Alex Snyder out there, you've got to stay tight. And they never made that adjustment. Fury just took advantage of the adjustments that Riot didn't make. They leaned on their veteran. Alex Snyder, like I said, one of the most fundamental players in the game. Definitely a veteran in this league, a veteran and a huge part of the success for Fury over the past few years. Great game from Snyder. Yep. They deserved it.
You know, I want to give some credit to Riot. They did not quit in this game. They were down 5 late. They brought it back to within 1. They had an opportunity at the very end here to tie. I think as we look at that last point, though, we're going to see in that last point the story of the entire game for Riot, which is missed opportunities. They get the break. They've got an open receiver. They hang that disc up in the air, giving the Fury player an opportunity to come over and get a block near the end zone, which Fury's then able to punch in for the victory.
Absolutely. You know, Riot does deserve a lot of credit. Down 4 at half, down 3 at half, down 4 at half.
Down 4 at half.
Really an incredible comeback. Something that we haven't seen them be able to do against Fury, especially in games like this. But Fury comes out on top, like I said, just the more fundamental team in this game. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights here, some of the things that went well for them.
Can we hold on here for a second? I just want to say on behalf of myself and Mario, Megan, everybody here at Next Gen, can we get a pan, Red, of our crew back here behind us? Okay. Wouldn't have been possible without Kevin and Josh working the replays. Great job, guys. Really a fun weekend for everybody. And all of our listeners, all our viewers, thank you so much.
please direct your attention to the back of the south end zone, where we will be recognizing the women's division finalists. Please put your hands together for the players from the women's division runner-up, Riot. Number 3, Gwen Ambler. Number 3, Gwen Ambler. Number 4, Rory Titcomb. Number 5, Kate Kingery. Number 6, Sarah Griffith. Number 7, Khalees Cardenas. Number 9, Ginny Unn. Number 10, Hannah Kryelkamp. Number 11, Shannon O'Malley. Number 12, Callie Ma. Number 13, Heidi Marie Clements. Number 14, Hannah Kawai. Number 15, Drew Johnson. Number 16, Maddie Fry. Number 22, Keely Dentz. Number 23, Caitlin Cordell. Number 34, Loriana Berman. Number 38, Catherine Lawson. Number 48, Aaron Gallagher. Number 55, Nora Carr. Number 66, Val Dion. Number 69, Alyssa Weatherford. And number 88, Claire Suver. Gentlemen, your 2011 Women's Division runners-up from Seattle, Riot. Okay, let's hear it again for Riot, your women's division runners-up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the players from the women's division, 6-time consecutive champions, Fury. Number 2, Nikki Bloom. Number 3, Castle Sinecrope. Number 4, Alex Snyder. Number 5, Emily Damon. Number 6, Alicia Dansker. Number 7, Kayla Jorgensen. Number 8, Nancy Sun. Number 9, Alicia Barr. Number 10, Genevieve LaRoche. Number 11, Lauren Casey. Number 12, Christy Bowen. Number 13, Cree Howard. Number 14, Liz Penny. Number 15, Alden Fletcher. Number 19, Georgia Bosher. Number 20, Abby Christopher. Number 23, Megan Scholhammer. Number 27, Ness Fajardo. Number 41, Yelena Gorlin. Number 42, Dara Clancy. Number 66, Lakshmi Narayan. Number 71, Manisha Dariani. And San Francisco's Fury is coached by Maddie Tsang. Okay, in addition to the USA Ultimate Championship trophy, the women's division champions will receive 100 free custom discs, courtesy of Discraft. Thanks to Discraft for their support of the USA Ultimate Club Championships. Your 2011 women's division champions from San Francisco, Fury. Okay, let's hear it again for Fury, your women's division champions. Can we move them to the side then? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Kathy Pufall Spirit Award is given to the women's player who best exemplifies both the ethos of the spirit of the game along with a personal commitment to giving back to the sport. The Kathy Pufall Spirit Award is given to the player adjudged to have exhibited personal responsibility, integrity, and selfless contribution to Ultimate, combined with a high standard of playing ability. Each qualifying women's team nominates one player from its roster as the person who best represents the spirit of the game and these qualities. From the list of 16 possible candidates, team captains voted to determine this year's winner. The winner of the 2011 Kathy Pufall Spirit of the Game Award is, from Riot, Gwen Ambler. Presenting the award is former Kathy Pufall Spirit of the Game Award winner, Deanna Ball. Thanks to everyone for their participation in the 2011 USA Ultimate Club Championships. Special thanks to our event staff, especially our volunteers. Can we get a round of applause for the volunteers? Thank you. We hope everyone had an amazing time. Please put your trash and recycling in the appropriate containers on your way out. and we'll see you next year right here in Sarasota for the 2012 USA Ultimate Club Championships.